Recently there's been a lot of videos about tourism in Japan, the pros and cons, and I also wanted to make a video about the ongoing beef between Abroad in Japan and Oriental Pearl. I do have a lot of feelings about this, but I will make another serious video another day. Today is going to be really lighthearted, and we're just going to be making fun of the silly things that people say on the internet. It's not going to be that deep. So basically, I've been following this Facebook group. I only use Facebook to speak to my brother and inform my high school friends that I'm still alive. But sometimes when I go on there, I follow this group and it's called like Japan Plan and Travel. And basically it's a lot of tourists that are planning their trips. And I will be real with you, sometimes tourists, they really know what's up because they're always like researching stuff. And obviously particularly in Tokyo, things move so quickly. Things are closing, things are opening. When my friends come from overseas to visit, they know the good places. Like if you're a resident of Japan, people always ask me like what's good to do in Japan. Honestly, I do like the same 4 things. I couldn't tell you. When my tourist friends are, they take me to places I would have never found. So sometimes it's a good way to find information. But I'm gonna be real with you. I'm on there because sometimes people post funny stuff. And I'm not making fun of them in a mean way. We are all tourists at some point. When I went to the US, I didn't know how anything worked, like how money worked. When I went to Korea, it was the same thing. I was giving everyone like an extra $100. Like I was putting an extra 0 onto every money I was giving people by accident. We are all dogs in God's hot car, basically. But you know, we can make fun. I'm not gonna post anyone's name or anything. Some of it's a little bit more serious, so we'll get into that. We'll do like, okay, we're gonna, let's start off strong. My raincoat is red. Is red okay to wear? I can see where this person's coming from because also like, you know, like in, I guess, Shinto temples and stuff, it's all like red, so maybe they think of it as like a sacred color. I think this is one of the biggest problems with online discourse with Japan is very like othered and mystified, and to a point where it really doesn't need to be. Like stuff like this, when you're going to any country, you need to be aware of like rules and stuff like that, but shit like this is like, come on man, come on. I think Japan is just one country where everyone is just extremely weird about it. Like, I feel like people travel a lot to different places, and there will be questions, like for example, if I traveled anywhere in the Middle East, I would research a lot about what I could and couldn't wear and couldn't do, blah 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 blah. But Japan, like the people researching this take it to a whole another level. It's honestly impressive. Okay, here's a good one. Writing anon in case my husband stumbles across it. Is it possible to team my husband up to get on a Japanese TV show while we are here in April? Or is this just a crazy idea? Any tips or hookups appreciated? Suggestions for something similar would be great too. From my research, the TV show idea looks quite the long shot. Okay, so this may sound silly, but it's actually not that hard to be on Japanese TV. I've been on Japanese TV so many times, doing nothing, like literally nothing in particular. And particularly, I feel like not so much these days. Now tourists are seen as more of an annoyance, but back in the day, there would always be a TV crew hanging around the airport, and they would just film tourists, and you would just tell them what you're doing, where you're going. Sometimes they'll follow you. They filmed me and my friends once, way back in the day. We were doing like a gyaru event, and they came to our gyaru event and just filmed us doing stuff. And then once I was in a game center with my coworker, and they filmed us, and we definitely said like we are just co-workers, so like we're not a couple or anything, and we were playing like Tekken no Tatsujin. And then when it aired on TV, it said like love game center something, like I don't know, it was like game center romance, and then it would put like loads of hearts around us. I had a boyfriend at the time, so that was terrifying. And multiple times when I've been on Japanese TV, they'll make shit up. Like they'll say that I flew in from Canada for the day, for the event. They'll just make shit up about your age, your nationality, just because they don't think like you're ever gonna call them up on it. And like they assume that Japanese foreigners aren't gonna be watching themselves on TV anyways. So just be careful, but it's doable. Like you can be on Japanese TV, but like at what cost? My travel partner for Tokyo has ADHD and a low tolerance for foreignness. I know, not ideal. He's stretching out of his comfort zone I get easy overstimulated and neither of us feel great in crowds. So actually we're both going to be exhausted by Tokyo from what I'm reading. Anyone have ideas or tips for how to build in rest periods, low-key activities, relaxing places, comfortable Western style hotel, onsen spa? Okay, this is a lot. Okay, as someone with ADHD, I feel like I can speak on this because I also get very overstimulated. But this seems like their partner's ADHD is way worse than mine. I think that the problem here is like having ADHD and having a low tolerance for foreigners. I don't know what that means. Those things are completely separate. Having ADHD in Tokyo is not bad, I think. Like, I don't understand where like the issue of having ADHD in Tokyo. Like, I think it's pretty much fine. Just be careful. Having a low tolerance for foreigners, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, this is another thing I'm really surprised with when people are like, oh, like what was the biggest culture shock? Am I gonna be okay? Am I gonna be able to eat anything? And it's like, you are in one of the biggest cities, the biggest city in the world. You're not in. It's not like a tiny village in Libya. You're gonna be fine. They have McDonald's here. Like, I don't know, like low tolerance for foreigners, like foreign people. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, this one confused me a little bit. Honestly, if you are super overstimulated and you don't like crowds, like Tokyo is gonna be hard for you. But however, Tokyo is a really big city. I think like just don't go to Shinjuku, Shibuya. Basically, the places that tourists would go. Like, what exactly do you want to do in Japan? Because like, most people want to see like the crossing at Shibuya, they want to see Godzilla. That's gonna be really crowded. It's always really crowded. So if you are overstimulated, then maybe just don't do that. However, there are tons of places in Tokyo that aren't so busy. There's a lot of like temples and stuff that I don't have many people in. They're, like it's doable, but at night it's a city. It's gonna be busy in it. Like let's be real. I recommend if you do get overstimulated and you are in a major city, like busy part, I recommend going to a love hotel. You can go to a love hotel for like 2 or 3 hours. Like, you can take a rest and you can stay there. They have like a jacuzzi, you can take a nap. It's really good. Also go to like a karaoke booth or something and just like refresh. Tokyo doesn't have a lot of like little park green areas. That's something that like as someone from England, it was kind of sad for me because like in England, if you need a break or if you're in London and you need a break, you'll go to a park and you'll sit on the grass and you'll just chew the ducks. You can't really do that as much here, unfortunately. There aren't as many third spaces. This is something I think could really make Tokyo easier to live in. But yeah, you can go to a love hotel later. Another strong contender with, has anyone got a rash after petting the Nara deer? No, I haven't. Why are people getting rashes from the deer? That's not good. I'm worried that this is like the start of a zombie apocalypse or something. But like, I guess people would be allergic to the deer because it's a hairy animal. So I guess like I never thought about it before, but maybe some people are just allergic to the deer, so that is a thing that could happen. Also, like, how much are you touching the deer? Like, when I went to Nara, I also didn't really touch them. Like, I don't think you're supposed to touch them. You just give them the cookies. Like, you should not be, like, rubbing yourself against them anyways, because they are, like, they're cute, but they are, like, big, dirty animals. I would be careful in general because I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but the deer be aggressive. When I went to Nara, I underestimated it. And I remember I went up to the guy who sells the shikasenbei, the deer cookies, and I gave him my 500 yen. He gave me the bag, and as I went to take it, he leaned into my ear and he said, "Run." And I was like, "What?" And he went, "Run." And I looked over my shoulder, and the deer obviously know where the cookies come from. The deer were like chasing me, foaming at the mouth. And yeah, they were coming for me. And I ran, and I didn't realize I was wearing heels. And I slipped on the grass, I fell, I completely ate shit on the floor, and the deer took the cookies from me. So I was basically robbed. So yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about rashes, but just be careful. If you're gonna go to Nara, do wear flat shoes, and like these are big creatures, So just be careful. Like, they do bite. They did bite my bum, actually. But yeah, maybe don't touch them. I don't know. Just don't touch animals in general. They don't need to be touched. Okay, I didn't read this one yet. We've been planning a 2-week adventure from May, but every hotel interaction so far has been completely inflexible. Hotel special request forms have been denied across the board. No early check-in, even if the room's ready. No foam pillows for the particular room, even if they have them. No flexibility at all. Then I read, you're not even supposed to talk on trains, like at all. Is this just how things are culturally here? I totally respect different norms, but if the vibe is this strict, we will likely pivot to somewhere else. Okay, this is really, really interesting. I'm gonna try and keep an open mind. The hotel thing, I'm kind of on their side here because, like, I've said this a lot before. Oh wait, they're doing construction outside, I'm sorry. I've said this before, but Japanese customer service is often very polite, but it also, a lot of the time, is not very good. Like, if you have any extra requirements or anything additional, if you want to change any part of anything you're doing, normally they'll just say no, even if they can accommodate you. Just because, like, in Japan, it's very, like, rules-based, and that's just how it is. And, like, they don't want to, like, make trouble for people. Like, if they allow you something, they're gonna have to speak to their boss, and they'll be like, oh, then we have to allow everyone. So I kind of get in that respect. In England, it's not like this. Like I remember I went to this cafe a couple of years ago in Japan, and it was like 2 stories, and there was no one there, just me and my friend. And it was like a really cute pink cafe. We got afternoon tea. It cost me like 4,500 yen. And they're like, yeah, you have 90 minutes, which is normal here. Like, this is another thing I really don't like about the cafe culture here. They'll give you a time limit. But it makes sense because, you know, it's busy. They don't want people in and out. And then after the 90 minutes, they were like, okay, please leave. And then we were like, but like, it's very hot outside, and we still had a little bit of our food left. Like, it was a big course, and we spent 4,500 yen. And we're like, can we just stay like another 20 minutes? And they were like, absolutely not, get out. And it is very nice. They were very polite. But it's like, okay, in those cases, I think that Japan in some could be a little bit more flexible, but at the same time, I get it. The part where they're like, then I read you're not supposed to talk on trains, like at all. Like, in general, anywhere you go in the world, you're not supposed to talk on the train. Like, like, I think, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been in England. You're allowed to talk on the train, and in Japan, you are allowed to talk on the train, but just, like, keep your voice to a minimum. And here's the thing. This is the most important thing I will tell anyone that's moving to Japan or just coming here. Just observe people. Just watch. It really depends on the situation. I think with the problem with, like, stuff like this, and, you know, people make all these TikToks but I fucking hate, and it's like things you should never do in Japan. A lot of the time, just use your fucking eyes and look what other people are doing. If you're on the train and it is like the afternoon or like at night, and like people are a bit rowdy and people like talking and blah blah blah, then maybe you can talk a little bit to your friend. It's fine. Like, you can talk on the train, just as long as you're not bothering other people. However, if it's like, I don't know, early morning and people are going to work and it's silent, because a lot of people do sleep on the train. I do it too. Like, when I'm on the way to work, sometimes I'll fall asleep because my journey was up to an hour long. Don't talk really loudly. Like, it's pretty obvious. Most situations that you will find yourself in trouble with in Japan, I think, can just be avoided by just looking around and seeing what everyone else is doing. Are other people taking off their shoes? Are other people making noise? Are other people using chopsticks? Are they using a spoon? Like, a lot of things is just like, just look around to see what else other people are doing. That helped me so much, honestly. As someone who's chronically annoying because I have ADHD, that's been my key. It's been my stone, honestly. Just like, that's been really helpful to me, is just observing people and just copying what they're doing. Masking 101. Okay, so this one's kind of long. So we'll paraphrase this. I'm middle-aged. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I'm big and tall and wear compression stockings daily. I actually don't know what those are. Oh, okay. The longest flight I've ever been on was 4 hours. The longest drive lately is 9 hours. Okay, the 14-hour, I'm assuming, flight for you is gonna crush you. Like, I travel a lot, and even it is awful for me. If you're not used to traveling for a long time, it is really rough. Assuming I could get there, I don't eat most seafood, but I could probably find other things to eat. But would there be anywhere to sit at restaurants or on trains? Places to rest when I need to put my feet up? This is very interesting. So, like, as I mentioned before, there's McDonald's here, there's Burger King, there's KFC. There's going to be stuff for you to eat. You might have to do a little bit of research. A lot of Japanese foods, though, like ramen and stuff like that, they'll use fish broth a lot. This is something that, like, does catch people out. A lot of the broths will use fish or pork. So just be a little bit careful about that, because that can trick you with dietary requirements. But there's definitely, like, there's fried chicken here, like, there's everything. Just do a little bit of research. The problem is like, I think this person has mobility issues. When my uncle came to Japan, it was hard because he had leg issues. A lot of stations don't have, like, his stations here are super, super old, and a lot of them are super underground. So a lot of them is kind of, like, hard. There aren't a lot of, like, good access to elevators, escalators. There can be tons and tons of stairs. This is something to be mindful of. If you research carefully, you can get around it, but you have to, like, I would research it really, really carefully about where you're going, what you're doing. Like anything else, it's really unfortunate, but if you have a lot of money, it's easier because you can just use the taxi system. My mom was old and my uncle was old when they came here, and honestly, I just kept putting them in taxis because taking the train here down all those stairs was kind of rough for my uncle. Next part, the other major issue is my son has autism and ADHD. I know one of his meds is banned in Japan. Yeah, so stuff like Adderall or any stimulant is banned in Japan. This is a really important thing to check. A lot of people don't know this. Yeah, you can't have stimulants. So just make sure any medication you're taking, you can bring it, because you can't bring that shit into Japan. It's like a drug here, considered. He can also be incredibly impulsive, and I'm concerned he could get into trouble. Beyond defending people, and that's if they recognize he has special needs, people here usually do quickly. I think we need a little bit more context for this. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, again, stay somewhere that's not central Tokyo. Maybe stay, like, I don't know, like Kanda or somewhere that's a little bit out of the way. I don't know how bad this kid's ADHD and autism is. People here honestly are not that knowledgeable about mental illnesses, and particularly if you're foreign, a lot of the time they'll just assume it's because you're foreign, so, like, just be a little bit careful of that. But I mean, if he has autism, he's gonna love the train system, so that's one good thing. Okay, let's do the last couple. This is a good topic I wanted to bring up. Is it rude or unheard of to haggle with chain stores like Hardolf or Bickoff? I understand they're a corporation, but more or less they operate like a pawn shop, right? I've haggled with plenty of similar style shops in the US, and I have had people haggle with me in my shop. Like, if there's something for 20,000 yen, and I want to try to get it for 18,000 yen, am I gonna get asked to leave? Or, okay, first of all, this is not the US. Second of all, I'm pretty sure, because I went to the US, I'm pretty sure if I went to Walmart and asked them, can I have this rotisserie chicken for $5 instead of $7, they would have told me to fuck off. Do not haggle. Like, this is something that I feel quite strict about in Japan, is like, do not haggle here. This is not something that you have in Japan. Maybe in like a flea market or something, maybe then. But the problem is, and I know a lot of people who work in the stores, in particularly Harajuku here, because Takeshidori looks like a marketplace, people think that they can go and haggle there. It just doesn't work like that here. Like, people are just employees working at the store. They do not set the prices. Particularly, like, the people working at fucking Bickoff and Hardolf, they're not the ones that come up with the prices. They can't give you discounts. So it's also just, like, weird. Do not do this. Like, I'm pretty lenient, but this is just one thing that I really suggest you do not do. Okay, here's a good one. Is it okay to fold yen? I hope so, is it not? I've been folding in this whole time. I think it's like, because in England, I know we're not supposed to like deface the queen, but people still fold money. So I don't know how a lot of people would fit money in their wallet unless they fold it. So I think that one is okay. Okay, next one. I just finished shopping at Uniqlo Ginza. Oh, Ginza are pricey. 10 minutes later, I got email notifications from my credit card and bank card that someone tried to use my card at Apple Store, making $4,000 plus purchase and declined by fraud detection. Apparently, someone used some device capture to capture card information. The store is packed. Be careful, everyone. Okay, so blah 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 blah. This person had their money stolen. Okay, this is something that does happen everywhere in the world, so just be a little bit vigilant. It's impossible though, like those card readers, if they've been hacked or like messed with, it's gonna be pretty hard to tell. I would just say when you're in Japan, check your bank at all times, because the moment you leave Japan, it's gonna be really hard to get that money back. I actually do know someone who used their card when we went drinking in Kabukicho. And it was like it was a bar, but it's a very, very, very popular bar. Like, this is not something you would expect to happen at this bar in particular. Like, there's a lot of bars in Kabukicho where I think that maybe I would not use my card. But here, I felt like it was safe to use my card. It's very, it has a good reputation. Anyway, so my friend used her card, and then the person who took her card took a picture of it, and then later ordered stuff online. So this is something that you have to look out for. Any country, just make sure who you're giving your card to, you can always see them, because I've had instances of this before when I used my card and then they go and take it somewhere, and I'm like, no, I wanna make sure I can see you and know what you're doing with my card. So just be a little bit mindful of that, and keep checking your bank account. Like, it doesn't matter if you're traveling or not. I check my bank account constantly in case people steal the 500 yen I have in my account. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you want me to make another video, there's tons of funny posts on there. I'm not making fun of anyone. Like, generally, I have had, you know, like, you don't know what you don't know, and it's better to ask now than mess up later. Yes, thank you for watching this really, really chatty video. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Bye!